Hi, today is Tuesday, August 30th, almost 8 p.m. And about 2 weeks ago now, my sister told me about this company she just started taking their product and loved it so much she's started selling it. It's called Valentus, and it's a coffee that you take as you normally would a regular coffee in the morning, but it has all these nutrients and ingredients that help you curb your appetite and curb sugar cravings. So, on top of it just being a good tasting coffee like you'd enjoy anyways, it has all these extras in it that actually are supposed to help with weight loss and your mood and getting rid of those cravings and feeling full in between meals because of the fiber content that they've added to the coffee. So it's called SlimRoast, and she sent me a couple samples in the mail. She wanted to reach out to some of our family and some of her friends. And I have to say, I was pretty shocked because by the second day of just drinking one in the morning, by the second day, I had absolutely noticed that I was feeling full in between meals. And for someone like me, I've always struggled with my weight, and it's always been sort of a daily issue and really a lifetime journey of losing weight. I actually had weight loss surgery back in July of 2005. And at the time I was at my absolute highest weight ever of 252 pounds. And I was married at the time. I was very unhappy. And anyways, I had gotten to a point where I decided to have weight loss surgery. So I had the lap band, and I did. In about 9 months, I lost 65 pounds. So I was at a real ideal weight and really kind of the slimmest I'd been in my entire life. I had the lap band in for about 7 years, and about 5 years into it, 4 years after I got the lap band, I decided, because I'd been keeping the weight off, to have a tummy tuck. So I had a tummy tuck, and then a couple years after that, I decided to actually have the lap band removed because I was maintaining my weight. I had learned a lot about how to eat properly for my weight and just eat properly for daily life and not rely on food in the ways that I used to before. And after I had the lap band removed, I maintained my weight on my own, a really healthy weight, kind of a slim weight, for at least 2 full years. And I was doing fine with it. I was doing great. I'd started a new job doing medical photography that's related to the photographies that I do as well. And I was kicking butt. I was doing really well. And crazily enough, I was wearing a size small scrub pants, which, trust me, if you knew me, that just never would have worked before. So I was doing great, all on my own. The lap band device was gone. I was doing great. I'd maintained my weight probably within like 3 or 4 pounds of when I had it removed for over 2 years. And then I got into a really bad car accident on August 1st, 2013. That was just over 3 years ago. And what happened is I live in Seattle, and I was actually driving to the airport to go out of town for my birthday because my birthday was the night before. So I was going to take a 4-day weekend and fly out of town on August 1st. And a semi-truck driver decided not to pay attention to what he was doing, and he plowed into 3 cars, and mine was one of them. And he totaled my car, and it took a while for me to realize, but he kind of totaled me in the process. So I walked away fine, no broken bones, but within a few weeks I started having nightmares, and I stopped being able to sleep, and they were very intense nightmares, literally bolting out of bed, just shocked. And it was so sudden and so overwhelming and so frightening that I could never fall back asleep. And it started happening over and over and over. And it was always, heavy objects dropping on me out of the sky or crashing into me, or giant, things that shouldn't be as big in normal life, like a tarantula in one of my dreams. It was gigantic, and it was nimbly crawling through my bedroom, and then it jumped onto a chair and jumped onto my dresser and then tried to jump onto me. And it was, this big. And of course, I woke up right that second, just shocked. And not surprising, I could never fall back asleep. So for months, I was literally losing 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night. And after a few months, I kind of had a breakdown at work, and I couldn't keep working full time. I was so exhausted. I couldn't think straight. All I did was go to work, go to doctor's appointments, come home, try to take a Epsom salt bath for the pain that my body was dealing with from all the whiplash, and go to bed. And that's all I could do. And on the weekends, I could barely get out of bed. Like, I was just so tired, but I couldn't sleep. I started to literally hate my bed. It became a place of just annoyance and frustration and restlessness. And it was really tough because I needed to sleep so bad. But it was the last place I wanted to be because I had been spending so much of my life in bed for months and months. And anyways, a few months, I went down to 30 hours a week, three 10-hour days instead of 5 8-hour days. So I got in 30 hours, but it gave me a couple extra days of the week to literally just rest and try to sleep. But unfortunately, even that wasn't enough. And a few months later, I was laid off because I think my work was definitely suffering because I felt like I had molasses in my head. So on top of all that, I started taking medications to deal with everything I was going through, but also the pain and all that stuff. And then I started to gain weight. And it wasn't hard to gain that weight because I barely left the house because I was in so much pain and I was so deeply exhausted and starting to get very depressed. And I definitely turned to food some for sure in that time more than I wanted to. But I think it was also just because I couldn't move. And I started the medication that I'd been on now for a few months, and it just was very easy to put on weight. So fast forward a couple of years and I'm still dealing with a lot. I still haven't been able to work full time. I've been trying to do things, on my own and get creative and basically just, make enough to pay my bills. That's about where I've been the last couple of years. But I've somehow stayed afloat and I've struggled through it. That's great. But recently they found out that I did actually have damage to my pituitary gland because luckily my lawyer knew someone else who had been dealing with clients who had been in car accident and had injuries that dealt with their pituitary gland. So I did end up having some really intensive testing with an endocrinologist and found out that I am deficient in growth hormone and cortisol, which are two of the main hormones that literally regulate and control how your body functions. Everything your body does seems somehow related to these. The way you sleep, the way you metabolize, deals with your weight. It deals with women and their periods, how they process, when they process, that kind of thing. So basically, the hormones that your pituitary gland deals with regulate your entire body. And mine was no longer working properly. It was damaged in the accident with the whiplash, but I didn't know that for more than the first 2.5 years. So now I'm on a growth hormone injection, which I may have to be on the rest of my life. So every night at 9:30, I give myself an injection in the leg. And I have to say I've gone from having about 2 hours worth of productive energy a day for the last few years to having a normal day. I can, get probably a good 6 to 8 hours of productive use in, whether it's work or cleaning my house or whatever. And I still have to, not push it. I still feel I have kind of a limited tank of energy, but I have quite a bit more than I did a few months ago. So that's great. But one of the side effects of the growth hormone is weight gain because it actually causes I just know one of the reasons it causes the weight gain is you actually start to grow more soft cell tissue in your body. And that has led to some other issues like carpal tunnel in the last month and a half or so. It's just led to different kind of pain in my body, almost like arthritic pain. And my doctor did say that was partly because, or was because of the growth hormone. And I also take hydrocortisone, which is just a pill, but I have to take it every morning and that replaces the cortisol that I'm missing. So, but that's a steroid. So I'm sure that doesn't help with weight gain either. So suffice it to say, since my accident, after living a life the accident was in 2003. I had weight loss surgery in 2005, or 2013 was the accident, and 2005 was when I had the weight loss surgery. So 8 years, just about 8 years, a little over 8 years. I had worked so hard during those 8 years and had done so well through a lot of challenges of its own, the weight loss surgery and whatnot, and learning a new lifestyle. And now, after the accident, I had gained, up until a few weeks ago, 113.5 pounds. I went from 191 when I was in the accident, or it actually could have been 196. I now can't remember if I was at 191 or 196 back then. I'd have to look at my medical records. To 2 weeks ago when I weighed myself at 304 pounds and a half. So 304 and a half pounds. I've never in my life been over 300 pounds. And I'm a tall gal. I'm, 5'9". I have a strong build, 191, 195. That was actually a pretty darn good weight for me. But to get over 300, it's so discouraging. But I deal with pain, so much pain in my neck and back and my pelvis area still, that it's challenging, and when you're dealing with that and just kind of discouragement of trying to live your life amidst all that, it's hard to get out and be super active, but now that I feel better, now that, my left ankle was actually injured in the accident as well. So now that it doesn't hurt as much, I can go on walks more often and do those kind of things. So it is great to be active again, or starting to be more active, but, it's tough. It's challenging. So to be over 300 pounds is it's discouraging, but the fact that, and to be honest, I'd say that the last 30 pounds I gained was just in the last 3 months after I started taking the growth hormone. So when I look at the weight gain compared to how much better it's made me feel and how much life it's given me back in each day, I just had to kind of let it go. I had to just not worry about it too much. I just have to kind of accept it in a way. But when I saw that number, I just was like, what the heck? And the craziest thing is, I think it was the next day. It might have been that night, but I think it was the next day my sister said, hey, I just started trying this product. It's amazing. I'm going to send you some. Tell me what you think. Because she wanted to get some feedback. Because she was debating whether, she might start selling it as well or whatever. But I took it for a couple days. And by that second day, I started to notice that my feeling of hunger in between meals was satiated. Like I felt full. And that's not an easy thing for me. I've always been someone who deals with a very ravenous appetite. And probably, I assume, because blood sugar drops or whatever, I'll be walking through the day and I'll have eaten something. And an hour and a half later, I'm still fine. And then 10 minutes after that, I am starving and I have to eat something right that minute or I almost feel like I'm going to fall over. That's been my life for so long. That's how my body has always operated. And yeah, it's just crazy. Well, all of a sudden I am not feeling ravenous in between meals. And right now it's 5-6 minutes after 8 o'clock, something like that. And I can tell I'm starting to feel hungry because I haven't really eaten a proper meal since I made a sandwich for lunch around 1:30. But it's not that deep, scary, give me something or die kind of feeling. It feels more stable. And that's amazing. But another amazing thing is my sister and I very much have a sweet tooth. We get it from our dad. And usually her and I, after 8 o'clock at night, forget it. All hands off. If there's sugar in the house, I'm eating it. So I've gotten really good over the last number of years to not keep sugar in the house or keep really healthy snacks around because I know that I can't say no. If there's chocolate or ice cream or something, I can't say no. So this coffee, this product that she had me sample, I noticed by the second day, it was very clear to me, very obvious that I wasn't craving sugar. And it's so nice. I mean, I've done things like a no sugar diet where I had to wean myself off sugar and pretty much no one wanted to be around me those first 3 weeks because it is your body. It's almost like getting off heroin or some hard drug. You literally go through withdrawal. And you're kind of a monster. But I've done that in the past, and then I stopped eating sugar for months and months, and then of course I must have gotten into it again somehow, and then you go right back to how you were before. And so for me to not crave sugar, it's so easily, like just to have taken to drink a cup of coffee one day, a cup of coffee the next day, and notice these things was pretty fantastic. So that being said, this coffee is amazing, and it's this little packet, kind of like a little, instant packet of coffee. You just rip off the top and you put the little powder crystals and you mix it in water, and it actually mixes in cold water if you want, so you can make an iced coffee pretty easily, which is pretty cool. I do that too now sometimes. But I have to say, in the first 10 days ish, I lost 8.5 pounds. And in the last 4 days, I've lost another 1.5 pounds. So my sister's given me tips on how not to plateau, like drink lemon water in the morning to kind of help your body continue to detox, to make sure I'm drinking a lot of water, because there are so many good ingredients in the coffee, but it does help your body detox, and you've got to get rid of that stuff. So drinking extra water throughout the day and night and morning is really important. So I've really been extra conscious of that, because I know that the more water, the better. And if it can help me keep losing weight, awesome. So happily, I'm under 300 pounds again now, and I only weigh myself maybe 2 or 3 times a week right now. I don't want to stress over it, because it's not like I'm starving myself or working out 5 hours a day. I'm just trying to make healthy choices, and I'm drinking this coffee in the morning. And they actually have 3 other beverages as well, so 4 total. One is called Trim, one is called Immune Boost, and then they have an energy drink, which doesn't necessarily help with weight loss, but they just wanted a healthy alternative to, canned energy drinks that have so much gross stuff in them. I've never even drank them. But anyways, I take the Trim product. The Trim, just add it to water in the afternoon. I guess you're supposed to take it 30 to 60 minutes before your biggest meal of the day. So some people that's lunch, some that's dinner. But it helps your body not process or digest as much of the sugars in our foods. So it's a good idea to take the Trim before a meal. And then the Immune Boost, which I haven't tried yet, because on my first order, I didn't order any of that, so I'm waiting to order some more at some point, and I'll get some of the Immune Boost. But my sister actually just tried that this last week, and you take it 30 to 60 minutes right before bed, she said, and she said she's literally never slept better in her life. And she also said for the last 6 months or so, she just hasn't been sleeping deeply at night, and she's been very, wakeful and restless. And from the very first night she took the Immune Boost, she sleeps so deep that she wakes up in the morning almost disoriented, like she doesn't know where she is. So that's really encouraging to hear, especially for someone that not only still struggles with sleep, but is on quite a few medications that are supposed to be helping me with sleep again. And I am sleeping better than I was a few years ago, but I don't want to be on medication to do those things, So I am going to continue taking this. I'm going to continue this little journey here. And I've actually decided that I want to share it with friends too, because it's just such a kick-ass product. It's non-GMO. It has inulin fiber, which I assume is why you feel satiated and full. It has there's all the ingredients that you've heard in sort of like workout products or health products, but I can never quite say correctly, so you'll have to take a look at it on the website or something. But anyways, I'm just encouraged to see what's going to happen, and to hopefully see myself getting thinner and losing weight, and really just feeling balanced each day, and hopefully by that gaining energy as time goes. So like I said, I'm about 2 weeks in. I've lost at least 9 pounds, maybe a little more, and I'm just excited. So in case you see this, my name's Trishann. I live in Seattle, Washington, but the best thing about this product is if you reach out to me and you decide you want to try it, just let me know. I can help you order it, and you can order it from anywhere in the world. So my website through the product is myvalentus.com/LoveCoffeeLoseWeight. So that's www.myvalentus.com. myvalentus.com/LoveCoffeeLoseWeight. I'd love for you to contact me anytime. You can also email me at lovecoffeeloseweight50@gmail.com. That's lovecoffeeloseweight50@gmail.com. Yeah, I am absolutely willing to send you a sample. Try it for a couple days. See if you notice it. Notice the kind of reactions that I explained. You might even lose a pound or two, and that would be awesome in and of itself. But if it's something that you notice you like having in your life, then you might want to try more, and I would love to help you with it. So anyways, feel free to reach out or make a comment on this and just let me know what you think. All right, I appreciate it, and I will definitely try to keep up with some videos and continue the progress, and hopefully you'll literally see me changing as time goes by visually. That would be awesome. Okay, have a great week, and thanks for listening. Bye.